So I screwed up a little bit. So this is probably the first and hopefully only time that I ever have to do this for a video ever, because honestly, it's not fun. It really is not fun to go through this. I'm a random Dark Link. Welcome back to Fire Emblem Three Houses, and in this video, I am anticipating one of my only points where I have to do post commentary on the stuff that I basically, filmed. So hopefully this doesn't turn out as turn out as bad as I think it would. But I am leaving so much room for a massive drop in quality here, because honestly it's seriously not. I don't intend for this to be a replacement for the actual video that I did. I'm currently thinking about what tea that Gilbert liked. I found out later it was almond blend, so it may take a while for me to actually catch up and do that, but I don't know. I don't know. But anyways, I hope this really does not happen again, because, it just destroys what I intend to do. It's like the live reactions, sort of interacting with the characters, even though they're not real whatsoever. I like having that sort of, having that dynamic between me and the characters. And now I finally figured it out.
It seems we have similar tastes in tea.
Yeah, apparently so. Even though, I had a guide open while I was doing all of that, so... Man, this sucks. It seems so ingenuous for me to just, think about all the interactions that I would have done in trying to reenact them. And so, strangely enough, with this tea time conversation, I actually had a really good time with all of this here. I didn't really have to look at the guide that much, which is honestly surprising. This first option there that just occurred, woodworking, I remembered it so vividly from when I had to, search through Patch's room to basically, give him a wood carving book. So it just came to me that, he was just really just very into woodworking, so that was a very easy thing, and I figured he'd appreciate the thanks for everything, because, he's a knight, so why not?
Fishing. I hear you do as well?
And then, of course, there's a fishing thing, and so, yeah, that's an easy answer. You nod to a question like that. This is one of the greatest, straightforward tea times I've had in a while, which is great, because, it's fantastic to know that, unlike my experience with Hanneman, a few parts ago, Gilbert was pretty straightforward, and, very much, me and him just, vibed off each other. We just added off each other, ad-libbed. I don't know what the best way it is to describe that, but both of our charm increased. Unfortunately, I'm not using Gilbert as an actual character, but, it's cool. It's cool. And I believe we had a support, too. Or not. But, yeah.
You're wrong.
We come into this scene where Dimitri is just completely out of it. He's really talking to dead people that he's hallucinating from within his head. And unfortunately, this is some major survivor's guilt here. And so it's not a pleasant scene to look at. It really isn't.
I don't care if she's the Emperor. It's no different than killing anyone else.
Though, I guess the thing I do like about post-commentary is, I'm able to really talk, a little bit more without really focusing on, watching what is going on, because I've already played it and I don't really need to focus on that, every now and then. So, I guess that's sort of why I'm not really the best at Let's Playing, or just, the whole concept of, just doing video game content. I am very much one of those, I'm a guy who probably should be a streamer more than anything, but decides to upload these so-called streams to YouTube, and so, I don't know, maybe I benefit better from being a Twitch, being sort of a Twitch streamer, but I don't know what their policies are about gaming, especially with games like this. I know I'm crossing so many legal boundaries here, even showing footage of the game, without, just any sort of, look, it's not my fault. If I had the chance to, become part of the Nintendo Partners Program, I would totally do so I could play a wider variety of games, because it would really help.
Your Highness.
Oh
I ask
dear,
that you
Dimitri.
please refrain from reckless behavior in battle.
Dimitri. Just listen to Gilbert. He's only acting in your best interest.
Was accurate.
Oh, and Randolph's
Going
back.
to take some effort.
And I
Mother,
made the remark
I
here
heard
that
a rumor
the
that there is a
person who
vicious murderer
plays
among our
Randolph's
enemies.
Well, who knows if
sister
there's any
here,
truth to it.
Fleisch, is the same
admit we have lost
VA
some
that
soldiers
did
recently.
Sumiya in Fire Emblem Awakening.
Whether
If
he's
you were
among them
trying
or
to put
not,
2 and 2 together in your
taking on the
head, and
Knights of
this was
Ceros
like your
is
first time
extremely
looking at it
dangerous.
again, and if you
You're not
played
ready
Fire
for the
Emblem
front
Awakening.
lines, Fleisch.
So
Stay
yeah,
in
it's
the
nice
back
to
and
see
support
her
us from
voice
there.
acting
Understood?
like lent to something
No,
here.
I
But
want
yeah,
to
if you
stay with you. I have to.
if you had like
to
a general idea
understand,
like
Fleisch.
what
I
Sumiya would
will
sound
come
like
back, I
a bit more,
promise.
this is
Fine.
a more accurate sounding
trust
like
you, brother.
how she would have.
Please. Be safe.
Yeah.
All units, prepare
So
to
yeah,
attack.
Randolph. We're facing Randolph in this chapter again. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I've always liked him as one of the enemy characters because he just
Thank
if
you
you're
so
on
much.
his side, like he seems like a pretty chill guy to talk to. And of course, I had to complete a lot of battle quests before going into it.
I asked.
And you know, I really did not take them seriously whatsoever. The only one I really took seriously was Balthus's because we got a killer Knuckles out of it. But anyways, this is the point where I basically talked about how I did not really take all of these really seriously because, you know, when I did it, I decided to do something really different, and that was make Catherine one part of our party now. Because I think if you're going to be playing Three Houses, you need to know, like, it's probably recommended you have at least 12 characters to utilize because I think some of the final maps allow you to bring 12. Some of the big final maps allow you to bring 12 characters, so it's nice to have, like, an additional one, and that's precisely what I used those battle quests for, which was to help, like, Catherine get up to speed, which was, you know, really nice. I just put an experience gem on her, and then just let her do her thing. I let her crush them all, literally. You know, just her little catchphrase of like, "I'll crush them all." And then, okay, now I'm going to Yuri enemy support, which, you know, is really nice to see. Again, if I will stop talking on the end of the line, the pauses are just so bad here. Because, like, I don't even remember what I was saying, so I'm literally frustrated at myself. And so, it's just, what are you doing, Random Darklink? What are you doing here? What the heck? I don't understand. Press it, thank you.
Looks like I've got.
I'm raging at myself here. I hope you're enjoying that, everyone. I hope you're enjoying me raging at a past version of myself because I don't know how to record videos. Like, what ended up occurring overall, I really did not get to this. I don't know what the heck happened. My microphone was plugged in. The microphone was not muted, mind you. It was not muted whatsoever. It wasn't even muted. And I don't know. It just didn't decide like, oh hey, I'm not going to record your voice, you douchebag. So you can go F off and, you know, just do a little post commentary and have to watch, you know, your own videos, which really, you know, you realize, first and foremost, they're not the best quality because you don't know how to speak in front of a camera and play a game. And while you're trying to push yourself to do this, I have no clue. I have really no clue whatsoever. So I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am, because it is such a weird thing. I need to calm down.
Shared the same dream.
That was a legit, like, 9 minutes I've just spent just talking into a microphone. And it's not going to get any better. It's just so not going to get any better. I need to fill 44 more minutes of this crap.
If you can see why I do that, then that's something, I guess. Well, anyway.
I chose the wrong
Take
answer.
my notebook what you will.
I don't know how to talk to people, and it translates super well into the game.
I'll make sure to
Because
add you
I don't have the
as
best
well.
memory, and in some cases, as you could see from the beginning of this whole like video series LP
heard me.
whatever,
I mean,
back when I was talking to Gerald, I just decided to pick the answer that was just absolutely stupid, that just like lowered my relationship with my own father. Which, you know, once again, if you did not go and research it once or twice, like, you wouldn't even know this guy was your father. So you're just absolutely in the dark as to why that is. So it's just, yeah, like, what the heck, game? Like, what the heck, game? I'm filling with a box braid that I, from like many years ago. If you don't know what a box braid is, it's basically, you take 4 pieces of plastic, like, braiding material, and you combine it to form like some sort of like interlocking
I'll toss you a bone.
chevron of some kind. It basically look like a square, but it's just basically pushed together into and compressed into some sort of diamond stuck up on each other. You can look it up, the boxer braid. I don't know if it works. Oh yeah, also Yuri's not his real name, of course, and
maybe someday I'll tell you.
You can only do that if you ask support with them.
Alongside me.
And so,
Find out.
yeah. I think it was around this time that I went into a discussion about the same-sex pairing options for male Byleth, which are severely lacking. And I will explain that, hopefully with, you know, an idea of, like, what exactly it is. A general sense of, like, what my person is doing here, like, the past me is doing with the game. So I move up to Gilbert, I move down to Alois. Basically, those two are S supports, but they're not really S supports. They aren't marriage supports. What occurs is that they become vassals, basically. They become vassals to you, and the only real guy you can support if you do not have the DLC, and give, like, a nice, weird, like, somewhat, like, normal marriage in the traditional sense of the word with another man, if you're the male Byleth, is with none other than Mr. Nappy Time himself, Linhart. Which I really just scrolled past because I didn't know. Dude, scroll. There we go. That's what I meant. Stay on Linhart so I can explain a thing or two. Like, Linhart is the only normal relationship you can have if you're a male guy who just loves other men. Linhart is your go-to bae. Which is unfortunate. You know, they really screwed the men who play this game, who really like to marry their male counterparts, who are absolutely sweet and great. I don't know. I think Gas Station did a... Well, sorry, Fargast. Fargast. He calls himself Fargast, and kudos to you on the name, by the way. If you... I don't know if you'll ever watch this or what, but kudos to you on the name. I love it, and it just turns you even more into a Fire Emblem YouTuber, which I hope doesn't have as problematic a following as Mangs. Yeah, about that. But anyways, yeah, Yuri is your really second real option you can have to marry. The other option you get while playing a specific route, it's more like a really weird relationship built upon, like, both of you trying to kill one another. Like, that's the best way I can describe it. It's basically a Joe Joestar. It's like if Joe Joestar and Dio had a weird, sadistic homosexual relationship. That's really the best way I can describe it. And, well, I say that knowing that that's probably not the best wording, so I apologize to anyone out there who may have gotten offended by that. I try not to do that, but I realize, like, you know, I'm not perfect, and I'm trying my best to make sure, like, I can catch myself if I do say some problematic things. And, of course, this is something we don't really need to see here. And I skip forward. That's good. That's good. Dang, you know, the skips really don't work out so well when you're trying to do a post-commentary, because it's not working. And, of course, the pausing when I'm trying to speak, it doesn't work for the format here. Thank you! Once again, I need to... If only I could insert the counter of the amount of times that I've just rage quit against myself.
Garrick Mach,
And so we'll
the
get
Kingdom
onto the
Army
narration here.
proceeds to
It's just like
bolster
blah,
its
blah, blah,
forces.
Garrick Mach.
Empire is already
We
in
sort of
one
bolster our
step
forces
ahead.
with the Knights of Saros.
An Imperial vanguard, led by
Imperial
General
force led by
Randolph,
General Randolph goes
has
and like
deduced
tries
the
to attack
location
us.
of the Kingdom Army,
And,
now advances with the aim of
yeah,
crippling
Kingdom.
Garrick Mach for a second time.
Yep. Thank you, long dead Gerald narrator guy. And then of course you have to wait for this ridiculous load screen in which it just does not seem to end whatsoever. Oh my goodness. Okay, 15 minutes. That is... Oh dear, my heart. Ooh. I don't know if you guys know this, but... So, I am fully vaccinated. I am fully vaccinated and able to really, partake in society a little bit more. And so, I'm really happy about that. I'm glad I got my 2 shots of Moderna pumped into my arms, so, like, the DNA of my cells is just changed forever to recognize COVID-19, like, possible variants. I don't know, the Delta variant has been spreading a lot since the, like, onset of this video, and so it's not really good. And so I'm just explaining, like, the desolateness of Garrick Mach at the moment, because it's just so warped. Like, the whole side, a road that used to be there where Hubert was just, like, manning up forward, that is just basically gone. It is gone. It's toppled into the ravine. It is just there, just gonzo. So, anyways, I also remarked that, hey, you can deploy 11 characters. That is awesome. Whoopee! Woohoo! I don't know why I just impersonated Mario there for a sec. And I don't know how I'm talking as smoothly as I am right now. I mean, there is a little bit of nonsense coming out of my voice, well, coming out of my mouth at the moment, because, well, it's just, it's just me rambling on and on. I have a friend like that. So many tangents, I need to stop. But anyways, let's get back on track. COVID-19. So, the shots. What happened to me during the shots? So, I get signed up through my state's program. I am from Minnesota, by the way. And, so, I get signed up for my state's program. I go to college in Iowa, basically, and so, I have to drive 2.5 hours to the nearest location that they have me set up with, just so that I can get a dose of the limited supply of Moderna at the time. And I swear, it was one of the worst experiences of my life. Because, for one, it's just one. Okay, I need to calm down here, I just need to calm down to really just explain myself and what exactly is going to happen, because it's just one step after another, after another, after another, piled upon each other, like stories upon stories upon stories of just absolute crap to all of this. So, 1, I get the notification to get my shot in my email. 2, I sign up with the vaccine finder. 3, nearest locations that are providing shots through this finder: Mankato, Minnesota. If you don't know what that is, Mankato, Minnesota. Nice little town situated in the Minnesota River. Or Duluth, which is way up in the north part of the state. And since I'm in Iowa, hell no will I ever go anywhere near Duluth if I need to be back down to college on a Tuesday. And so, yeah, this was taking place on a Tuesday. Let me get that other detail stacked up upon it. Notification in the mail. 2 places: Mankato, Duluth. And, from where I was, it was a 2-hour and 30-minute drive. Tuesday, on a school day. College, in Iowa. I am setting out right after my class ends. I'm scarfing down my lunch in my car. I back out, and I'm listening to Obama. I just decided, like, oh hey, to really pass the time, I'm going to listen to a podcast made by Bruce Springsteen and Barack Obama, because why the hell not? And so that gets going, but then again, I don't even know if the episodes were playing in the right order, because Spotify doesn't know how to really manage that. And so, yeah, that's just another thing to add on top of that. Podcasts not working correctly. Terrible driving circumstances. Tuesday, school, 2 hours and 30 minutes to drive to get a vaccine. And so I get my first shot. Everything turns out fine. I get back to school. I end up coming down with a major headache, and then everything just sets in. What ends up happening is that I am up in the middle of the night. I woke up due to my headache. Actually, I wasn't even able to get to sleep at all. My headache was just blaring that I couldn't even fall asleep. I started getting these chills. I started getting super nauseous. And what ends up happening is that I threw up twice in like 6 hours. I am unable to get to sleep. And I felt like I had COVID-19. It literally felt like what the descriptors describe as COVID-19. And it was the most brutal thing I have ever felt sickness-wise. Like, nothing compared to it. I don't really get so sick intensely, mostly because, like, I think it's because I have a strong immune system. I don't know what the heck is going on.
I must lead them well.
But yeah, this just happened, and so imagine having to go across a college campus in nothing but a pair of, like,
I'm your girl.
Tights, in which, like, you know, the only thing that's keeping what is, like, protected or, like, just noticeable in a particular area of the tights, not as noticeable, is a pair of shorts underneath. It was, and I'm just like, I think I was in some sort of, like, lackluster footwear. I think it was flip-flops, and yeah, I was just trudging on slowly like a zombie with my mask on across a campus outside, and a lot of people were just like, what the heck is going on with this guy? So it was the most brutal experience of my life. And then, of course, the second shot was actually no big deal. And once I found out from the nurse who was administering my second shot, those people who had very terrible effects on their first shot most likely had COVID-19. So, yeah, apparently I contracted COVID-19 at some point, which was, I don't know, fun. That was absolutely fun. That is in no way going to negatively impact me and my ability to exercise for any time, which now, like, I'm pretty sure, like, my heart is, like, sort of, like, a little bit in a palpitating mood. I should probably get that checked out. Thank you, Annette. I'm not really paying attention to the game right now because I'm just trying to fill the time. I'm just trying to fill the void within my soul because, like, I don't know how to, like, commentate while playing a video game at all. It's like, I really don't. Like, I'm probably better at doing a post commentary, but, you know, it's just the serialized nature, well, just like the content heavy nature of YouTube, and just in ways like, you know, hey, establish your brand, upload as much as possible to, you know, get your following out. It is the most ridiculous thing I have ever had to deal with as, you know, anyone who just wants to, you know, have fun, like, share my experiences with the world. And unfortunately, in order to really do that, like, I need to make sure, like, I am, you know, posting something every day. Otherwise, like, I am dead, basically. I am dead to the internet. And so, sort of why I got disillusioned from YouTube all the time. But then I also just realized, like, I really don't care what people think. This is more like just for me, as, like, I think I realized, like, when I just decided, you know, look back on my YouTube videos in which I was just a very nasty teenager who just had a lot of stuff going on and just needed to get some stuff out. Like it served as more like a video diary for me. Like, it was just a slight little snapshot of my life. and so, like, and where I was at the time, you know? You know, it's just to think about it, like, it's been almost a year since I've done that video on the Henry Stickmin collection. That massive video on the Henry Stickmin collection. Which I didn't think would actually do as well as I thought it would. Which was like 2,000 views. I never get 2,000 views. And also, Catherine, oh boy, you are a lightning great dame. What the? And of course, I also remark how Sylvain is just like, yeah, you know, it's just like, I don't really need to talk about this. Because it's so crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I never, in my right mind, would have ever pictured making Sylvain a Dark Knight. Because, honestly, his base magic growth really isn't that good. It really isn't. It's 30%. It's 30%. And the only way you're going to get it larger is by, well, putting him in a mage class, but that also means, like, giving up an ability to, like, gain strength a little bit more readily. So he's, yeah, you're taking a lot of risk by making him a Dark Knight, frankly. And I think I recognize that because, well, it's just, I played this game so many times. I've mentioned this once or twice before, but, like, this is my 9th playthrough overall of Fire Emblem Three Houses. My 9th overall playthrough. I've played...
I won't hold back.
This is my 3rd Blue Lines playthrough. I played both Black Eagle's story routes twice, and I played the Golden Deer route twice. So, yeah.
Alright, next.
So it's very much like a game that, you know, I have a lot of experience with, and so, like, I didn't really feel like I wouldn't be able to, you know, play this game as freshly as I wish I can if I didn't do at least something different here. And which was, you know,
Big win.
you know, which was actually quite entertaining for me. It was just like seeing how Sylvain is just progressing. Because, you know, I on top of, like, being a character with a lot of depth overall, for one, a philanderer with, you know, who philanders because, you know, he has a thing against, you know, just like he knows,
Don't
like,
bother haunting me.
like, he philanders because he's trying to cope with the reality that a lot of people aren't going to love him because of his crest. Well, or aren't going to love him because, you know, he's him. A lot of people are going to like him because, you know, he is desirable because he has a crest. Like, that alone is a very deep problem. And, you know, just really adds to the depth of Sylvain's character. And, you know, it just... like, I don't know if I completely relate to him, but, like, I can completely understand... I can relate to it somewhat, because, you know... like, I am fairly open about this. Like, I'm predisposed to being codependent to people, and if you don't know what I'm talking about with codependence is basically a state in which, like, you are involved, like, removing yourself from your self-esteem and investing it in other people without any regard for yourself or how you feel. And sometimes that can actually take up multiple forms. For me, how it takes up a form is in the form of, like, a person that wants to do as much as he can for people because, like, he feels like it. I feel like I need to, because I felt like I need to, and I'm not doing it independently, and I'm not allowing myself, you know, a chance to recharge and really do things because I want to do them.
I had to protect my friend.
And I'm just going by an ulterior motive instead for doing so, and that alone could lead to a codependent circumstance. And it's not like necessarily it's the person's fault for doing so. Like, I think it's completely. It could be some just past circumstances that, you know, put me in a state where, like, I am codependent on people, and just due to the result of it, like, you know, I had this feeling where it's like, I'm afraid, like, people aren't going to love me for me, and that if I really want to make people love me, I need to basically, you know, be the person that they want me to be. And, you know, that is not, like, I don't recommend doing what I had done after quite a while, because honestly, it's not good. It's really not good. It's terrible. You know, it's basically why, like, I've used some really terrible stuff to, like, cope with that. I have a video of this on my channel in which I talk about it. It's called You're Welcome Here, and you get to hear about sort of my problem, and that I am fairly open about, because, you know, I think it's just absolutely necessary to go disclose that. And, you know, for an update on that, I've been doing fairly well, actually, with it. Not perfect, but fairly well. I have not, like, indulged in the actual stuff in a while. And so I'm trying to get a more healthy view on what I've been doing. I'm not sort of mentioning this here because it is a very mature topic, and I try to be somewhere in the middle where, like, I go for, like, you know, the T for teen language. Like, I use damn, I use hell. I will also maybe use bastard every once in a while, mostly because, like, that is seen in this game, but not very much, so I don't really like that. But yeah, I try to keep my videos as clean as possible. And yeah, I just want to, like, make sure that occurs. But yeah, it's sort of like relating to Sylvain. Like, he's sort of like stuck in a position where it's like, you know, he really wants to find a person who really just likes him for him, but, you know, just because of this whole idea of, like, you know, because he has a crest, and just, like, you know, as he described it, like, women wanting to have their crest babies with him, and not really looking at him as a natural person. Like, he feels like he needs, in some ways, he philanders because, you know, he wants to have a little bit of, like fun, and sort of, like, I guess it's just sort of like a really ingrained, deep psychological issue, which I knew I've expressed disappointment toward it. Of course, like, I wish he wasn't like that, but I can definitely understand where it's coming from. You know, I mean, I'm not him. Like, if he was an actual person, like, not some character in a video game, you know, that I'm just commentating about, like, he would be, you know,
Once I've decided,
you know, I would like to just try to, like, snap some sense to him. And of course, Yuri is broken. Yuri is broken. Little side note there, but yeah, I mean, it's just, yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, it's a very, very. Sylvain is one of my favorite characters in Three Houses for the reasons that I stated. That, you know, he is very much dynamic. It may also be because I am biased, and, you know, Blue Lions was the first house that I chose overall, and so what occurred was that, you know, he was my favorite character. He was one of my favorite characters to, you know, from this game, because he had that sort of depth to him. But, you know,
What's next?
it's just, yeah, he has a special place in my heart.
Stop now.
Annette. Yeah. I sort of explained, like, how the magic just keeps going up and up and up and up and up. Even though she is slower than most mages, and will most likely get doubled by some very threatening figures. For example, the Falcon Knight reinforcements in this map. I hate them with a passion. And for good reason, too. Because, you know, they're Falcon Knights. They're fully promoted, and at the end of the class line, it's a master class, and they're wielding silver lances. Yeah, you know, oh my goodness. You know, for a difficulty curve in Three Houses, the thing I dislike about Three Houses' difficulty curve is that, you know, from pre-time skip to post-time skip, the enemy goes from wielding, you know, just standard weaponry, that really isn't all that powerful, into wielding silver weapons in droves, just like that. enemies wielding the most powerful white magic, the enemies wielding the most powerful dark magic, the enemies like wielding the most powerful reasoned black magic. I mean, holy moly. It's like it never ends. It just never, ever ends.
Too weak for this war.
And so, like, this,
The consequence of the blood ice.
it's kind of nice that we have powerhouses like Dimitri who can just, like, just completely destroy an enemy in one hit. No problemo. And of course, I'm still waiting for the Swordmaster to get to you-know-where to affect the course of the map and sort of change the tides in our favor. And so, yeah, I think that's the one thing I greatly enjoy about this map overall is just how insane it is, you know, tactic-wise, actually. And like I enjoy it because, well, for one, it just you'll see in a moment, like it'll have to be when I finally end the turn and just stop like trying to tell myself that, you know, I can do anything more here. But as soon as like I'm done thinking everything out, I will finally just end the turn. There we go. And then, you know, the goodness happens. The Falcon Knights come forward here, and
See you in the eternal flames.
Demetrius, and there's still more Falcon Knights going. And the Swordmaster is almost there. And yeah, of course I'm going to move in that and use Excalibur because it's just, you know, a very, very broken skill. It's a very broken magic spell. And Annette wields it well. Annette really just wields it well. Really just turns her into such a helpful character if you really want to take out winged flowers. And if you're like evenly distributing your experience as much as possible, like I am, like you really don't have to concern yourself with like losing all of the uses of the magic that you have because, well, it's just the great thing about the Grimoire class, the Grimoire. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Does anyone know how to pronounce that? Because I am absolutely clueless here. So, I am placing my characters into a position where I'm able to better better like encounter what is going to happen next here, which is the Falcon Knights go here. The Swordmaster will enter the fort. I'm trying to take care of the Paladins so that, like,
It won't be in vain.
we can whittle away the forces just a little bit before the assault here. Yeah. Jeez, 37 minutes. Well, 38 actually, about 38-ish. And the Armor Knights are going to be coming up ahead, but you know the movement really isn't going to matter because something is going to happen which, you know, moves them to a specific spot on the map.
Now, to draw the enemy's attention.
Gilbert is going to act like a really,
units, and you still can't defeat
really
us.
confident man
The Empire's
and just
generals are not as formidable as
taunt
I
the enemy into a trap.
Quiet! Don't think you'll get away with mocking.
And of course, Randolph, holding like maybe his family's temper, decides to like just charge everyone into the middle of the map, and we just completely set the map ablaze. Ah, that is torturous.
We can't fight anymore. All units retreat. I'll take on our pursuers. Carry away the injured soldiers.
And we are not going to allow that to happen because, well, it's just,
eliminate them before they can regroup.
yeah. I still have this pillar here that can, like, turn into a dragon. I think I brought it up beforehand. Oh, dear. I bumped the mic there with the pillow, sorry. Jeez, because I live in Minnesota, I have to live in the same state as Mike Lindell. And, you know, he talks a big game here, but I think he's just a load of crap. And, you know, it's just a thing, like I can understand why people would like, you know, Republicans, and I can understand why people would enjoy the Democratic view. It's a very complicated thing, and I can't just, like, you know, be political here, because, you know, it's just like, I am basically just pushing against other person's views without really hearing their side of it or trying to understand where they come from with it. So, yeah, when I say, like, I think Mike Lindell's a piece of crap, like, I say that knowing, like he's not saying that with an all-purpose, meaning, like, he's not good for the people who believe conservative beliefs. He is not good for anyone, really, if he's promoting such
Does this make a difference?
terrible stuff, frankly. I don't know. Like, I'm not really a whole fan of the whole conspiracy theory nonsense. I think it's just really destroyed a lot of like sense of truth at all. Like, unless a theory can be,
I'm your girl.
like, you know, proven true with actual evidence, like, you know, like how, you know, the whole coronavirus, you know, coming from a lab thing, you know, and the reason to believe that, oh, hey, it may have actually leaked from a lab, and there's some reasoning to that. Like,
Crush them all.
of course, then I would change my point when there's solid evidence, because I don't know if they've finished, like, you know, investigating that, but, like, I'm not going to, that's the last time I ever, like, just shove away a conspiracy theory, as a possibility until, like, you know, there's some solid evidence. But it's just, it's really all there is. Some people take conspiracy theory as fact, but that's the thing. It's a very much, like, it's,
I'll cut through.
I like to think a plethora of people know that they're stupid, and they only, like, look at them because, you know, they're stupid, and while they may think it might be a possibility, it's most likely not. Like, they're able to distinguish that in their brains. Yeah, I probably should stop talking here because I'm offending. I'm probably, like,
What's the plan?
completely destroying a lot of people's viewpoints here. And, well, it's, and you know what? That's true. I am a really massive blue-blooded, like, son of a bee. So, oh my goodness. I don't know if any of you saw this, and it's gonna be a long time since, like, until, like, this video itself, like, comes out. So, what's gonna occur is, like, you know, I'm gonna be reminding you all of a meme that, you know, was prevalent, like, at least a month ago, and sort of just, like, reignited, at least through, like, my very small following that is basically non-existent at this point. Yeah. Like, I'm gonna be doing this knowing that, I am, not gonna get the results that I want. But I'm probably gonna remind my very small, dedicated audience that it's gonna be, like, oh, hey, there's this video clip that went around of, like, Porky Pig of all people, in 1938, a clip from 1938, just going, just, like, hammering a sort of nails, like, oh, son of a beep beep, son of a beep beep, oh, son of a beep beep, beep beep beep, gun. You thought I was gonna say, son of a beep, didn't you? I don't know. I can't do a good Porky. I don't even know how Mel Blanc is even able to get to that. I think that's the name of the guy, but I don't know how he's able to, you know, do such fantastic voices like that, especially with Porky. That's interesting. It's like, I'd like to think you have to mimic how your voice sounds on Helium. It's like, and then get a little bit more nasally.
What's my strategy?
So, well, son of a baby, oh, son of a baby. Well, now I sound like that sounds like a tone like if I drove it any deeper.
I disposed of doubt long ago.
Keep your expectations low.
It's like, how's it going? How did it go from Porky Pig to House Party?
I must steel myself.
And particularly the impression by the Game Grumps over one of the characters, just like, how's it going, dude? You know, just that. Oh, just yeah. That's a funny animation. And of course, I remarked about this before in the video, but you know, the way the Mortal Savant uses magic is super cool. Like, I need to point that out right there. It is super cool because it's just like a ninja Hokage or something. I don't even know anything about that, so I may be doing something very much completely wrong there in describing that. So, any Naruto fans in there can get right at me and completely cancel me on that. I won't feel any. I won't care at all. You can do what you want, get your grievance out, and hopefully we can have a nice civil discussion once you calm down. But yeah, it basically looks like just like a ninja's performing some like hidden technique, and so like he's just doing like this weird thing with his fingers. Like, oh my goodness, he's a firebender, really. He's just like he's guiding the lightning, like Azula would, or Iroh, or someone like that, you know. Yeah. So, I think, if I check correctly, Thuron and Thunder might be the only two reason spells that he learns, which is, unfortunate.
A total loss. But we can't just return home like this.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that up right now, because I've actually really wanted to know, what he learns. Oh! Learn spells. Wow, that is actually really helpful. Serenus Forest is such a good resource because it has every character in the game and their spell lists, basically, for reason and faith. And so, yeah. Some characters can learn 5 spells, some can learn 4, some can only learn 2. But yeah, to think of this, yeah, Felix can only learn 2 spells, which honestly sucks. For a reason anyway. But with faith, well, I gotta hand it to Felix. Felix can learn heal, Nosferatu, recover, and restore by maintaining a B rank in faith. So oh, you learn something new every day. I gotta make sure that, like, I've actually been training him up in faith. This was like after I've done all the oh yeah, I love this dialogue. And then of course what happens is a crit. He just punches his uncle's lights out.
Capture him.
I mean, Caspar really did not need to have the boss kill here, but, you know, I just did it because, like, I knew he had some weird, like, dialogue in the game, and it was just, yeah, it's so weird. It is super weird. Also, for some reason, I have this weird car named PD that is literally the ugliest Chrysler PT Cruiser I have ever seen before. It doesn't even look like a PT Cruiser. It's just a really... It's just a rather, like, disgusting looking thing. I don't know where it's been. Should probably watch it. FRTL. Oh, ERTL. Daimler Chrysler Corporation, 2001. So... Yeah, about as old as the car itself.
As a general, you must have killed countless souls without a shred of mercy.
Oh yeah, and of course, Dimitri's being full-on edgelord here, so we get to hear his ramblings going on for a little bit. So I am almost there for the vocal stuff.
I did what I had to for the
yeah, I really did not want it to go. come to this, but, you know, this video is going to have a really big drop in quality because I'm going to be adding the audio here in a moment and, you know, saving it as another MP4 from another MP4. So I apologize. I'm going to see if I can't save it as another file, like maybe an AVI.
I can smell
oh
the
dear.
rotting flesh
Of course,
upon your hands even now, General.
Dimitri is gonna go full on sicko mode.
I won't kill you
right
away, my
right
fellow
here.
monster. Unless you object to watching your friends die. One by one. If so, I will do you the service of removing your eyes first, so that...
And I've had enough with it, and I just decide to put him out of his misery. Yeah.
What is the meaning of this?
So, yeah, so about that, Dimitri, I couldn't bear to watch it. I really couldn't. And of course, you laugh like a maniac.
A grievous error, Professor. If you do not approve
Seriously,
of what
I
become,
really need to
then
commend
kill
Chris
me.
Hackney for, like, voicing this character of so many levels.
I will continue to use
because
you and your
he went
friends
from, like
until the flesh falls from
very
your
much,
bones.
like, chill, reliable friend, ally, and chivalrous guy to a complete maniac. Brought on by some really major, like, survivor skills. And post-traumatic stress disorder, probably, yeah.
Second and third wave of attack. With our current forces, we'll have our hands full just defending.
It's a miracle we managed to repel the Imperial Army with the few units and resources we do have.
And then, of course, there's this whole thing against, like...
Rodrigue right away to request backup.
Rodrigue is in a difficult position.
Honestly, I don't know why I put Annette in this, oh, excuse me, I put Annette in this outfit, but, like, she looks so sleek in it. I don't know. I was just thinking about it. I totally did not do it because she's in a skirt. Okay, come on. That's I don't swing that way, unfortunately. I really don't. Like, I really don't swing the way of, you know, just,
I've already sent word with our fastest messenger, informing Rodrigue that His Highness
I was like, you know, being attracted to unreal characters. Like, I can like a character for how they're designed and how they're just, like, you know, how their personality goes, but and just, like, how they relate and how they just fit into the story, but as a person, like, it's just not, I don't know, I'm not really, I'm not really into waifuing that much, although, I mean, with Annette, that's a little questionable, but yeah.
That may be true, but don't forget that your people need our help right now.
Your Highness, I hate them too. But the citizens of
And, you know,
have
it's,
long awaited your return.
I'm talking about the older Annette, not the student Annette. That's,
about stuff like that
I need to make that clear because Annette is was a pretty young person when she got into, yeah.
So I agree that we should get to Enbar as fast as possible.
Professor, whatever you decide, we shall follow.
I need to look at this. Annette Fire Emblem. Like, she starts out, she is 16, turned 17 during the year, and then, I think she's currently 22 years old right now, so I'm talking about 22-year-old Annette. It's like, one that I have more of a thing for. And, you know, that's more appropriate because I am a 21-year-old. I don't feel, that just does not feel good to me. Eh. You know, that's also a thing with, like, Lysithia and, you know, other people, like, it's just, Lysithia is the youngest student there, and so, yeah, I thank you all for watching this. I hope this doesn't have to occur again, because, honestly, this is not something I was initially planning on, and so, hopefully, everything turns out okay, and I'm able to merge this up and, like, do this correctly. Until then, I hope everyone is having a good day, and I will see you in the next video, which thankfully has its audio intact. So take care, everyone.